Hello everyone, namaste. I hope you guys are doing fine, and if not, you'll be okay. So, this is the part 2 of the series that I've started, and I hope you have watched the previous video on what what depression is not and few signs and symptoms of depression that might be useful for identification. So, now this video is about the small things that you can do at your home or nearby if you're unable to go to a therapist or a psychologist counselor, or if you think that you do not have depression but you still identify with these few symptoms, so these things might actually be helpful. So let's go. So the first one is letting in sunlight. See, this is something that I can tell you from my personal experience, that if you open your doors and windows and you let some fresh air and sunlight come in, there are a very high chances that you might instantly feel better, or there is a different vibe that it brings with itself, a different aura altogether. I used to be someone who always used to keep the curtains and doors and windows shut because I like to sit in the dark when I was feeling very low or something. So yeah, it might not be so quick and instant for everyone, but I'm telling you it's worth it and it does show effect. So it might not make sense to you right now, but it's worth giving it a shot. Please open your curtains and doors every morning or evening whenever there is, a high chance of fresh air and sunlight. Second one is keeping track of your small wins. So by this, I mean that even if you are doing something very, very small or something which other people feel is very basic, you should keep a note of that. Do not forget to, uh, celebrate your victories. It might not seem like a big deal, but you'd never know how strong those things are or how strong they will make you feel at the end of the day. So even if these are very small and basic things, do make note of it. Then third one is congratulate yourself. When I say congratulate yourself, it's not just appreciating yourself from inside, or keeping, like I said, keeping track of your victories, but it also means that you have to feel proud of yourself for doing even the minimum or the minimal of what you are doing or of what others do. It does not matter what quantity of work you did. It does not matter for how, how much time it took. But what matters is that you tried and you did it. At times, even trying is more than enough, because there are days when even breathing feels like a huge task, and I understand that. So, when I say congratulate yourself, I want you to say it out loud. I want you to say, congratulations, you did it because you did. Or, congratulations, at least you could try. That was worth a shot. Give a pat to yourself on your shoulders, quite literally. Because I do that. And it might look weird to people, but it helps a lot. It may helps you see your own worth. I mean it. In a long run, you'll understand what I mean. Then we have making your bed. Now, to some people, it does not really make a huge difference because they think that it's something which is very regular and I'm just habituated to do it. But that's not the case for everyone. So, if you are someone who do not feel like doing anything at all when you wake up, or even feel like not waking up at all, so in those cases, just wake up and get out of your bed. Try to make your bed. You don't have to do it. Maybe just try to just fold your blanket, or try to clean your bed sheet or arrange your pillows. Take one step at a time, but once you do it, you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment, and you have to celebrate that. Then we have making to-do list. Now, to-do list is something which is a very nice idea, but people usually get it wrong. So when you tell someone to make a to-do list, it sounds to them like it's, they have to make an entire list, long list, where they're going to do all the things and they have to make sure that they finish it all. Or there are people who think that to-do lists are only for huge tasks like completing assignments, submitting your work, checking papers, and all of those things. But that's not it. That's not how exactly to-do lists work. A to-do list can consist of n number of things at the same time, only one or two things. And it does not really have to be huge tasks. It can be something very, very small. So when you make a to-do list, you can make it, and it does not have to be for an entire day. Like if you're waking up right now, okay, maybe you just made up your bed. Now you don't feel like doing anything, but you have a lot of work to do. So how about you start with just planning next 2 hours? Make a to-do list of what you want to do in the next 2 hours, and as you keep finishing those tasks, keep checking it off. Then make of next other 2 hours, and by the end of the day, you have achieved so many things. Even if you're not able to do all of those things, it's absolutely okay. It's just for your own reference. So to-do lists help. I've done that. Then honestly, I won't suggest you things that I haven't done. So yeah. Then we have breaking the work into smaller tasks. Like I said, the way you are breaking your to-do list, even your task, you can break it into parts and pieces. So if you have an exam next week or maybe 3 days later, and you have a lot of portion to study. Now, if you look at it like a lot of portion, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. So why don't you do it, unit by unit, chapter by chapter, page by page. Just focus on smaller things. If you look at it like a huge goal that you have to achieve, it's going to demotivate you very, very, very much. So go easy and go small. Take one step at a time is what I meant. Sorry. uh, then cooking. Now I hate cooking, but if you are someone who likes cooking or who used to like cooking but now you don't feel like doing it, or you're not interested in anymore, or you don't feel energy, cook small meals, something like Maggie. Or if you like baking, then bake just one cupcake. Or you don't have to finish it all in one go. You might just I don't know how to make a cupcake, but you can divide the entire process into smaller parts and take 10 minutes break, 20 minutes break, half an hour break, then go back and do the second step, and so on. So even if it takes you 3 to 4 hours to make one thing, try making that one thing, cooking that one thing, baking that one thing. So it really helps, because I have a friend who cooks when she's feeling low, and I know it works because she told me it works. So yeah. And then arranging your clothes. I personally am very lazy, but I love arranging my clothes when I have to go somewhere. But in case where you don't feel like going anywhere or talking to anyone and isolating yourself, but you suppose you are working or you are a student, so you, even if you don't want to, you have to go out next day in the morning. In that case, lay out your clothes for tomorrow morning. Just keep them there. Just let them be. You don't have to, iron them. You don't have to do this or that. It's okay. Start small, as I said, one step at a time. Tonight, just find your clothes and keep it there. In the morning, if you want, iron them. Don't, then don't. Next day, maybe you can try ironing them at night itself. Maybe it can take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, doesn't matter. Just laying your clothes down there for the next morning is helpful. Because in the morning, you feel like, one less task. Then, yes, go for a walk. Now, this one is, I'm I used to run. Like I like running a lot, but now my stamina sucks, so I don't run anymore. But if you're someone who's into sports and now you again don't feel like doing any of it, you can try going on a walk. I went to this workshop, I attended this seminar of one of my professors, and there she said that even if you cannot go out for a walk outside and you can't push yourself to do it, just take a walk inside your house itself every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. Just take a 5-minute max walk. That would be good to go. Then maybe next day you can do it in your compound. And then maybe you can try it in your complex, or then you can go out. So start in your own room, then your house, then outside in your building somewhere outside the complex and road. And the last one is feed the stray animals or spend time with the pets you have, if you have. So when you go for a walk, feed animals. Feeding animals gives you a very, very deep sense of satisfaction. And even if you're not an animal lover, I think you should try it, because then you will become one. because yeah, because you will. It's just that's how it is. That's how innocent animals are. They give you a sense of satisfaction. They make you feel like there's purpose, even if it is just to feed those hungry innocent animals. And for scientific reasons, it will produce some good neurotransmitters in your head. And if you have a pet at home, again for scientific reasons, it has been proven that your health seems to improve, especially mental health and emotional well-being, if you spend time with your pets. So that's it. Other than this, if you feel like these are not working for you, or your symptoms and signs are way severe than this, please go to a psychologist. There is nothing wrong in consulting one. I'm not asking you to go and take therapy. Just go to make sure how is your mental health doing right now, or do you need some professional help or not. It's as simple as going to the physician. If you don't start, who will, right? We need to make the change. So thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Namaste. Stay strong, guys. Bye bye.